All right, if you're getting into the wiring side of things, we can supply you with Victron controllers. These are really good. Obviously, they've got the best name in the business. We can supply you with Anderson plugs, extension leads, our 10 amp MPPT. These are really good for our standard bonnet installs. They go underneath the bonnet and then we'll regulate most bonnet panels up to 130 watts. All right, now we've got the bonnet up, the triple panel system's ready to go. You can see all the cables hanging there. So ideally we want to get these cables out of the way so that we're going to route them through the bonnet, inside the bonnet frame. So what we need to do is first get our snake and send it all the way over to the other side. Now we're going to grab some electrical tape, driver's side panel, because we're wiring this one over to the passenger side on this specific vehicle. Obviously you always want to wire the panels over to the side where it's closest to the battery. So we don't need, on this job, we're going to wire all the panels together and we're going to solder them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these MC4 connectors off because we no longer need these. Cut one cable at a time, we don't want to bridge the panel. And then we're going to tape these to our snake that we put through to the other side. And we're going to start feeding it over. Now what we want to do is just slowly pull that through. Not a lot of pressure. And we're going to leave a little bit hanging out over there so we can put some conduit on there to cover the cable insulation just to make sure that we're not rubbing on the hard, sharp edges of the bonnet opening. So we now have some nice conduit. This is going to protect our cable from rubbing through on the bonnet. So we don't want the whole length, it's not really necessary. It's basically just where it enters and exit the bonnet frame where it can rub and create issues. So I'm going to get about that much on there, and then I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to tape this end on so the conduit doesn't move up and down the cable. Alright, and there's our cable from our driver's side panel sticking out there ready to go. And now what we want to do is get our middle panel over as well into the same point. Now we have the center panel and the driver's side panel here together, and then we're going to run all of them into an Anderson plug together. This passenger side panel, because these two cables are coming out of this hole here, we can't exactly put that up in the hole and then have it come back down, and we want it to sit naturally the same as the other side, so when the bonnet's closed they all look the same. So we find up a little bit further there's actually a hole, another hole in the bonnet that we can cable the cable tie the passenger side cable up to, and then come back down and meet it up nicely with the other two cables. All right, now we're going to cut the passenger side panel even with the other two panels. Once all the reds are stripped, we'll then twist them all together to create one cable. All right, so what we're going to do with these joined red cables, we're going to get our Anderson plug terminal, put our Anderson plug crimpers on there, all three cables at once into that terminal, and we're going to crimp them in there. Now, all the positives are now joined. We'll push that up out of the way. Don't want the terminals touching. And then we'll strip the negative cables. All right, now the terminals are on. We want to waterproof them as best possible and, red on red, and cover up, make them look nice and pretty. And we're going to shove the red one in, and we're going to shove the black one in. Wrap that in a bit of cloth tape to protect it and stop it rubbing. So basically, just got a nice little endo poking out there, ready to plug into. And there we have it. Your panel and your decal are installed like an absolute pro. Make sure you follow all our videos for pro tips on vehicle specific models and types, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.